Good morning, everybody. This is Anna at Jonestead Farm. I just got finished feeding all the animals, which I don't have a ton of animals, but I do have to get out here early and get that done before my granddaughter gets here. It's been really dry. We haven't had any rain for, oh gosh, more than a week, probably 8 to 10 days. Our ground started cracking. The garden was suffering. Finally, yesterday, it rained all day. So I came out to look at everything to see if that good drink of water has helped, and it sure has. These are our Concord grapes, and it is very full. There's grapes all over. I do know that you are supposed to trim your vines. I am totally new to growing grapes, so I haven't come out and ever trimmed my grapevines. And I know the grapes will be smaller because of that, but boy, it's loaded with them like it was last year. I got a good amount of Concord grapes last year to be able to make quite a few jars of jelly. And that looks like what's going to happen this year too. Here's our blackberry vines. I came down to check to see how mature these berries were getting, and it looks like pretty soon I'm gonna have to get down here and cover these so the birds don't get them as they start to ripen. But they are completely full as well. And this will be our first year of having a good blackberry season. I think this is a 2-year vine. This one on the other side, this is a 1-year. I think we just put this one in last year, and it is doing pretty well. I have used a cattle panel, and as they grew, I have tied them on so that they will be easier to pick. But that also means it's easier for the birds to get as well. But I will be putting these, I'll be putting a net over these, and it is about time. They're going to ripen soon. There's some new growth. They probably won't do anything this year, this new growth, but they're beautiful. Y'all, look at Frank. Look at this boy. He's wet. He's got burrs all over his fur. What have you been doing? Down there by the creek, haven't you? And all those weeds? Yes, you have. Look at all those burrs on you. Silly boy. And as I've mentioned before, we get a lot of wind out here. And I don't know if I have it on a video or if I just had it on pictures, but my husband and I, after the green beans popped up really good, we came out here and we laid down weed fabric. And this is what the wind did to it. And yes, we had it tacked down really good. But after the rains, I mean, this is what it did. So we have to come back out here and fix this. And most likely we'll end up putting some, Frank, really? You need love? Okay. But we'll have to probably put some like block on it to keep that down, because these aren't working with the winds that we get out here. And right now the garden doesn't look too bad with weeds, but we recently tilled. But over here at the onions, you can see the weeds really benefited from all this rain we got yesterday too. And I'll be picking more onions. No more blooms on my pea plants, which is fine. I've picked on these quite a few times. They're probably ready to be pulled, and then I can plant something else. I had little rosemary that I grew from seedlings. Once they got up a little bit, I have planted them in here, and they're doing good. There's my basil plant. I do have some little vining pumpkins planted, but they haven't popped up yet. And they will trellis along the cattle panel. My comfrey plant is coming back. Yay, I thought it had died over this winter. We got such a cold winter. Had that deep freeze at Christmas, but it's back. One last lonely carrot. Here's one of my giant pumpkins. But my goodness, look at the weeds that are all around it. This is the one thing that it overwhelms me every year, is the amount of weeds that we can get. But like I've heard, if you don't cover Mother Earth, she will cover herself. And here she is covering herself with all these weeds. So we're going to have to get out here once it's dry and get this cleared up. It just frustrates me so much, but it's just part of it, you guys, just part of it. I also found some sunflowers that were growing up beside my raised beds. They were volunteers. I pulled them up and I brought them up here and replanted them, because you can see how big the stalks were when I pulled them up. They did not have much of a root system. They died back a lot, but look at the new growth that's coming on. It may have stunted them. They may be small, but I put them up here at the edge of each corner of my pumpkin patch. There's one over there too. And Frank needs more love. Ow, can't climb up my leg. Frankie, look at those burrs, boy. You're gonna have a fun time getting those off of you. Here, let's get those off your head, buddy. Yeah. He's wanting to play this morning. Well, that's it. I got to get myself back in the house, get ready for the grandbaby coming. We're supposed to get more rain today. They said possible really heavy rain with minor flooding in certain areas. But right now it's really pretty. Birds are singing, sun's coming up, skies look pretty. But I'll see you next time on Jonestead Farm.